Started putting the clutch packs together. I got this one started last night. This is the rear clutch pack, so we didn't want to put the ring in it. Didn't want to button it up until I was able to show what was going on with it. And then also on the forward clutch pack, found this. The book says to inspect for warped discs, and yeah, these have had it. I didn't find anything like that in the rear clutch pack. All the new clutches have been soaked in transmission fluid, in this case type F. I'm going to go ahead and stick with type F. And I wanted to also note that the steels are different on the rear clutch pack versus the front. So these actually are dished, and there's an inspection in the book. You're supposed to put a feeler gauge under here and make sure that it's got 10 thousandths of, I guess, concaveness. And then the concave part goes up as you're assembling this. So that's something you need to know when you're going back together with this. In order for me to put the spring back in, I actually took it and compressed it in the vise, and I used safety wire to hold it compressed, then put it back in, put the snap ring in, and then cut the wire and pulled it out with safety wire pliers. That's the only way I could figure out how to put this back together, since I don't own a press. The book shows them using an arbor press with a special tool, but this seemed to work just fine and it was safe. And this goes up. Okay, this is the front clutch pack. I gotta still take it apart. Here's what's inside of it. This big old spring washer. And then this was the plate that was on top of it. So it went like so. And then here's the piston for this unit. Yeah, that feels, let's see. Well, yeah, that's all jingly too. This is just as bad as the seals on the rear clutch pack. So same deal. It has a inner and outer O-ring. It has a big square seal. What the hell is that? Well, that's unfortunate. There's a casting defect in this thing. There's a little cavity in here. Factory quality. Well, I'm just going to have to pray that that isn't leaking at that point. There's nothing I can do about it. This one's not quite as brittle as the other one, but it's getting there. Okay, that's new. That broke right in half. All right. Oh yeah, that's way tighter. Okay, that snapped in. This goes in like so. Now this one takes 4 clutches. The kit comes with 11 total because it covers a couple different years. This one has notches in here. It's going to line up right here on the rear clutch pack. Then you get a thrust washer that's going to sit on here. So I've got to line all these up. I need to see what I have in the kit. It does come with some new metal rings. I'm going to put this on next. This is the only phenolic washer in the entire transmission, and this is where it goes. So front clutch basket. And there's a thrust washer here out of brass. There we go. Oh, looks like I forgot something. Aha! Almost screwed up. You don't want to have any spare parts when you're putting the transmission together. Forgot to put this snap ring in here on the rear clutch. Thrust washer. And then till the seats. There we go. There's just a small gap right here. Okay, now this unit is complete. So that kit for this particular transmission, I didn't need these other 3 clutches. This kit covers 56 through 58. Okay, this forward band is all cleaned up. This thing's difficult to line up. We've got to line the holes up with the bolts. Kind of keep it in place. Gotcha. There's 3 special bolts like this that kind of center it up. Once I start putting things back together, I can put the other one in, but that's going to be a ways down the road. So for now, put these 2 in. And that'll keep the center support in place. And then none of this stuff can come apart, and that thrust washer won't fall out of there. Okay, I'm working on this shaft today. I was very pleased to see that these steel rings were included with the overhaul kit, so I don't have to worry about reinstalling these old ones. So there's 6 steel rings that have to go on this shaft, so I'll do that next. I want to pop it up on its back, but the shaft is sticking out the other side. So I don't know if I can line it up laying this way. Try and get it to the edge here. There we go. There we go. Very good. Okay, I want to put the planetary on. So I need to put the reverse band in before I do that. Okay, the band has to go in. Hopefully I didn't jump the gun here. Oh no! Oh damn it. Oh, cheating. Nope, nope, damn it. I gotta pull it all back apart. Shit. There we go. Shit. I can't take the shaft back out with those new rings. I won't let go. Oh, you can do it. I'm lucking out. Boy, it's a bitch, but I was able to get it past here. Almost there. I don't know if it's gonna go. Oh, baby. Oh, that's just getting caught on the paw for the parking brake. I should be able to do something with that. Just got to get it to clear that paw. I think I'll be all right. Ah, yes. Okay, so this is the wrong way to do it. You want to put that in before you put this center shaft in. But it can be done. Not recommended. We got to spin this back up here. Whew, I got lucky. I couldn't pull the shaft back out with those new seal rings. Those steel seal rings wouldn't let go. I didn't want to pry on it and take a chance of really damaging those. Put the band in before you do any of this. Now I can put the planetary in. Okay, now I'll put the seal rings back on. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and that's that. So this section's all good to go. I'm not sure what I'm going to go after next. I might put the front back together, the front pump. So I'm going to want to replace this seal here. This seal's against your torque converter. There's a little see if I can show that. There's a little teeth. Putting the torque converter in is going to be difficult because it's still on the car. Whoop, totally out of frame. So down inside you can see there's a tooth there, and then 180 degrees there's the other tooth. The torque converter has slots in it and they have to engage those teeth. That's what makes it hell, putting it together in that manner without pulling the torque converter and bell housing is one unit. So I'm going to have to be very careful getting this lined up as I go back together. If it engages the torque converter, you'll know it'll slide right in. You might have a gap like that, and you can draw that in with bolts. If you have a gap like that, then this is clock drawing, and if you crank it down, you're going to drive that torque converter into the pump, and you're probably going to destroy the converter and the pump. That converter and this pump are no longer available, so I'm going to take special care in reassembly of that. So on to resealing the pump. Okay, I'm ready to put the new seal in. So these come with a coating, so this will actually seal on the outside. but I still use a little bit of RTV, use the maximum oil resistant one. And the only reason I'm using this, it's more of a, I'm using this as a lubricant more than anything. It'll set and seal, because this will help it slide in a little easier when I drive it in. So I'm just going to put very, very thin coat. There we go. I don't have a big old socket to go around this whole thing, so I'm just going to have to tap it in real careful. Seems a little big. There we go. Okay, that works better. Seems a little loose on the pump. Okay, 240 inch-pounds. I guess I'll spin it around and start working on the rear pump. So this is the governor. I don't think there's any reason for me. I need to see if I have to replace some seals in the governor. I'm not sure. I have to look at the parts breakdown. And then this distribution, I don't know what you call it, device, it's going to have some sort of seals in it. So it'll probably be what the rest of these are for. So I got to pull the speedometer gear off. So I'll take this apart and go there next. Here's the parts breakdown. This is the components. Right here I'm going to go after next. You got to be very careful. Looks like there's two little steel balls there you could end up dropping and losing. One is under the speedometer gear, and one of them I guess is somewhere, I don't know if that's part of the governor assembly. So we'll have to see. I'll zoom in on this if anybody wants to really see it. You can pause the video. There's supposed to be a ball in here, so hopefully I don't lose it. There's also a little relief here that was pointing the same way with the governor counterweight. There it is. Gotcha. As I lose it. Here we go. There's 4 steel rings. This looks pretty good. Nothing I can feel. I need to see if there's anything in the governor that I need to reseal. Look in the parts book. Okay, the parts book doesn't show any seals inside the governor, so I'm going to just leave that on there. And I'm going to change these out since I have them. just have to take your time working these in. You don't want to bust a ring. Okay, put the ball back in, and the speedometer gear. And I might as well put the rear pump back together. Turns out it was unnecessary for me to even mess with this. Okay, I'm almost ready to install the tail shaft. I have to change another seal. I'm going to have to be generous with the sealant. Looks like the seal's been replaced more than once. I tore it up pretty good. Look at that. Big old screwdriver marks. I use RTV on these seals anyway, but since this has so much damage, I'm going to put a pretty decent layer on it. Normally I just put a real thin film, but there's damage to the case from all this, from previous seal changes. New paper gasket is installed. Okay, have to look up the torque. Go. Now I got to put the case on. See how that goes. Okay. I've got to put sealant on all the threads for all the housing bolts. Tap straight into the case. As loose as a goose. As soon as I torque it down, the thing gets so tight. This transmission's been kind of weird to put together. Seems like it binds up and you have to keep fiddling with it and messing with it, and then finally it'll just kind of drop into place. Well, I'm not sure what the deal is. Okay, hopefully this doesn't bind up again. We shall see. Okay, let's see if it turns. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now let's see what happens when I torque up the bolts. I don't know why that tightens up so much. Damn. When I torque the case down, the shaft won't turn. So I took the bolts loose on the underside of the center support, and it let the center support slide in some more. So I'm going to put the case on, torque it down, and see if it still turns, and then if so, we'll put those pinch bolts back in. There's a lot of little particular things about this, so I'm trying to film every little nuance that I can capture on film. You won't find any other videos on the internet doing this sort of thing. On this particular model, you'll find Fortomatics all day long. And they're similar, but like I said, this is the exact one, the turbo drive. So, we'll try this again. I'm wondering if I should put those bolts in and torque them down. It looks like the center support needs to go in more. It's getting better. Yeah, it's off by about 1/3 of a hole. See what's on there? Has that. All right. That pulled that center support in a whole bunch. So you'll have to draw it in with this as well as the other two. Very good. That moved quite a bit. Now, try this again. And again. Okay. 200th try is a charm. Yeah, I can buy that. That's pretty decent. There's supposed to be some drag. It has all new clutches, so that I'm okay with that. Huh. Let's see. Yep. Okay. That's acceptable. Let me go find a bigger torque wrench and finish that. So I'm going to call it an evening.